everyone, welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel, where I'm showcasing my art creation process and also yapping about different topics. Grab your drinks and let's get started. I've been flipping through my sketchbook recently and I've noticed a couple of spreads that have the bled through effect from marker art that I made in the other side of the pages, so I decided to use them wisely and kinda distressed myself because recently I've been going through a lot of stress, and honestly previous two parts actually helped me so much I decided to do it a little more often and more intentional. So today is going to be a full-on venting machine. So like the other art therapy sessions before, I'm starting with naming and shaming my emotions and writing out in text what I'm feeling. But I didn't want to make like just, stressed. I wanted to make it a little bit fun, because if you make fun of something that bothers you, it stops to be so much worrying. So I decided I would go with the text easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then I'm like stressed, depressed lemon zest, so it's complete opposite. And I found that it was pretty funny to me, so I just went with that idea. And of course, to back that up, I'm going to draw some lemons and, like always, some body parts, eyes, noses and lips. I don't know why I'm into this. I just like to draw close up face features, so I'm just doing whatever that brings a little bit of joy and to remove as much stress from me as possible, So things that have been stressing me out recently were losing connection with some of my friends and also being in the screening process for a mental disorder diagnosis, ADHD and autism to be precise. But like the actual thing doesn't matter. It's just the fact of being in the screening process and trying to figure out whether I have symptoms or not, or like it's all just in my head and I'm overthinking it, blah blah blah, It's quite complicating because mental disorder diagnosis is mostly in my head and I can only be so much subjective about it. So I'm just trying to name all the stuff that bothers me to the psychiatrist and psychologist and see what is important and what not. But yeah, all this talking is very much stressing me out because I don't understand whether I'm normal or not. And I think anybody would be stressed in this situation. So I guess that is normal and I can cling on to that. But if the diagnosis will be confirmed, oh my god, I'm going to have to do so much processing about it. At the same time, it's kind of going to make sense because I have had all these symptoms all my life and I've been just gaslighting myself like, oh, everybody has that and that's normal. Meanwhile, it's not actually normal. All I want to do is to figure out what to do about it so it will not bother me in real life and like my everyday life, because a lot of the times I'm stressing about literally nothing and this affects my productivity, and I want and I know that I am capable of much more than I am doing right now. I just kind of want to help myself be a better version of myself, and I guess that wish is very normal to everyone. If you're also struggling, don't worry, this is normal and I'm here with you in this boat, so let's encourage each other, yay! And like one wise character said, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming. All of the struggles can be overcome if you just keep moving. Run towards your goals. If you cannot run, walk towards your goals. If you cannot walk, crawl towards your goal. If you can't crawl, lay in the direction of your goal. But yeah, I clearly understand that sometimes you cannot stay as positive as I am right now, but there are tips to help you out during these struggling times, and I can share you some of those that works for me. First thing that helps me foremost is talking to someone, and that is not ChatGPT, guys. It has to be a real person, and I'm lucky to have a very much supporting and loving partner whom I love to the moon and back till the end of the time. And I also have a bunch of great friends that are there for me 24/7 and they can listen to me vent like forever and ever. So whenever I'm talking to them and just telling them out how I feel and what's been going on in my life, this human connection is very healing. When you feel seen, heard and validated, that is the most recovering action you can do. So I would put it to like top 1 healing tips. By the way, it doesn't have to be a related person. Even stranger can help you achieve the same goal. It's just they have to be listening to you genuinely. Sometimes strangers are helping way more than they think they are. One thing I know and I've noticed about myself is when I'm stressed, I'm tending to cling on to some calming activities that have repetitive actions. So this can be crafting something, crocheting, or practicing musical instrument. Oftentimes I'm just taking random pieces of paper and doing either origami or like those paper stars. I could sit there for hours doing those. Small repetitive actions like this help you process emotions and think your thoughts through and let them go. And I've noticed this work very good on me as well. So when I don't have an access to talk to somebody, that is usually a second thing that I try to do, because I have stuff around my house like I can craft or do something repetitive, and I have piano, so I can spend a couple of hours doing those things to help me de-stress and get to a calmer and colder point of my mind, so I don't take impulsive actions, if that makes sense. A lot of people in the past suggested I do meditation, but that doesn't work for me because I cannot sit still for a long time. I have to move here and there. I have to have a drink. I have to do some stretching. I have to jump, and I don't know. Now that makes me think I do have ADHD. Sitting still and meditating and reading, that is something that I struggle with very much, and I don't want to get myself even more struggle. So I'm trying to pick practices and stuff that actually help me and not stress me even more. Another thing that helps me, and that might sound controversial to some of you, but still hear me out. I like to play with tarot cards. I have my own deck, and I like doing some shuffling around and seeing what cards do I get and try to interpret them. They have this nice interpretation book with them, and doing so actually calms me down a bit. And when I'm trying to connect the card that I've got in my tarot reading to my current situation and hand in real life, it actually helps me calm down, because I see that cards are telling me something like a message or how to look on the situation from the other angle. This feeling of having a little bit more certainty actually brings some relief to my mind, and it doesn't necessarily has to be true. Maybe I do have some of the magical thinking, whatever, I don't care. If it helps, it helps, even if it's a placebo pill. But honestly, I do believe in some energies, or that there is something out there that we as people and human beings cannot really fully understand. But I mean, there's nothing wrong in using it as a tool, right? And that's kind of it. So I'm more or less done with this sketchbook spread, and I hope you like the art therapy session that I have shown you today. Also, I hope that my tips for distressing yourself have been useful or will be useful if you try them out. And for now, I'm wishing you a fantastic day ahead, a happy, wealthy, and healthy life, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!